Peace, peace. What's up, everybody? Yeah, man, I'm just banging out. Still learning Serato with Ableton, and I'm actually still learning Ableton 12. I know Ableton Live 8 kind of got a grasp on shit. You know what I mean? My shit was good for a couple years, and then I stopped using Ableton for like 4 or 5 years, and now I'm back to Ableton. So what I'm doing now is just messing with Serato. These are all just test beats, man. Just trying to groove, man. So what I did now was these are MIDI tracks. So now what I'm doing, I just turned it into an audio track. And there's a couple ways people do things, but I kind of just do it where I keep my MIDI track. I know about dragging that and dragging this to an audio down to here and then it turn into an audio track. But I'd rather keep this MIDI track just in case I gotta come back to that and fix some shit up. So that's just all you gotta do. You just come over here. Um, yeah, you just come over here to your the all in joint right here, and then you just pick not resample. You just pick you pick what you wanna. It's really like you're resampling. You pick what you want, and I'm picking the drum rack on track one here. And then you got all these other joints. If I wanted to, like, we're going to turn this into audio as well. And that way I got a little better control to do things with it. So we're going to turn them drums into audio, an audio track. So I got that. So now all I got to do now is just mute this. And now I got my drum. I got the sample in a audio track right here. So that's there. I could, turn it up, do what I want with it, loop it, let me loop it. Right? I kind of like how that sounds, so we're just gonna go ahead and turn it up in the game. And this is, I like doing it this because that way I get a full-fledged audio ready. It's all chopped up, and I consolidated it. If you ever have a track that you record something real long, and you don't want, and you go to save that, that puts a lot of pressure on your CPU. So what you want to do is like this won't stretch no further than this. This is it, right? So you see that little piece right there that's stretching at the end. So all we're gonna do is just consolidate that. Let me just make sure I'm right. I don't want to consolidate it because once you consolidate, you committing. So we're gonna consolidate this track here. Excuse me. We're gonna consolidate that track to make it like it's like you're cropping it, right? Truncating it. Same shit, right? So all you do is just hit Apple J, and then it consolidated that track. So now that track is consolidated. So now when I go to stretch the end, it shouldn't move. It's not gonna go no further because I trunked it. So that's another way of truncating. All right, so now we got that. So now we're gonna come to this track, this drum track, and we're just gonna solo that by itself. And we're gonna play it first. We're gonna play it. We're gonna play that joint right there, and then we're gonna try to we're gonna take every instrument. We're gonna take every. We're gonna I got two choices. I could just leave it like that, or I could separate everything. The choice is yours, man. So I rather just I rather just go ahead and I rather just go ahead and dub this up. I'm gonna dub all these up, and we got a kick, a snare, and a hi hat. So I got a kick, a snare, and a hi hat. I'm going to keep the MIDI track, so I'm just going to hit Apple D. Well, not Apple D. Let me get rid of that. Apple Z takes me back out. I want to duplicate. I forgot what duplicate command is. I want to yeah, that's Apple D. I want to copy. that C? Let me see. Hold up. Is it Apple C? No, it's not Apple C. What the hell is it? Okay, it's Apple D, but you got to make sure you click on the track, and then I'm gonna do it again. So now I got three of the same tracks, right? So I'm just gonna solo these joints. So the first one is just gonna strictly be, it's gonna strictly be just my hi-hats. All right, I'm gonna start with my hi-hats. I'm gonna come down to my MIDI channel here. I'm gonna slide this up so you can kind of see the MIDI. I'm gonna take the note thing off, and I'm just gonna come here, or wherever the hell is they all at? Where are they all at? Where is my kick and snare and everybody at? Let me see. Hold up. Here we go. Where is that hi-hat at though? I don't see it. I do not see the hi-hat. Okay. What? Okay, I guess I don't have the record thing on. That's why. All right, so it's right there. I didn't have. You gotta have a record on the track so you can hear it. All right, so now I got the recorder. So we're going to just delete all this, and you can highlight all of it. You just can click on this and just hit Apple X, and then we're going to do the same thing if it is Apple X. And all we got is a hi-hat on this track. All right, we got that hi-hat. So then we go to the next track, which is the same thing. So we're going to highlight. We're going to click on that. We're going to put the record button on here, and we're just going to take the mute off. We're going to mute that track, and then we got the kick and the snare. Again, I'm going to do it in real time, though, so you can hear what I'm doing. So now this track is going to be the snare. So I'm just going to highlight that, and I'm going to keep the snare. All right. So that's done. So now, and this is how I'm going to be able to turn it into an audio track so I can have each joint separate. So I'm going to click on this. I mean, it's probably a faster way, but this is cool for me for now. And then I'm going to do it in real time. Again, this track is only going to be the kick. So just clicking on here. And getting rid of that snare. So now we got the ghost kicks. We got the kicks, all that, right? So now, bring it back down. Remember, this is a MIDI track. Bring it back down, and then I'll just start adding in all the other joints. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and name this joint. I want to hit Apple R, and I want to rename this and just say hi-hat. Right? Hi-hat. And then this one is the snare. We're going to rename that Apple R. And this is the snare. And then we're going to rename this, and we're going to say it's the kick. Apple R. Kick. Now to come here, I would have to rename these, but let me show you a quick way to do that. I'm just going to come here. I'm going to highlight this, and then I'm just going to hit Apple J, and it should change the name for me. Well, it's already consolidated, so it didn't do it. Let me see, Apple J. No, so I guess I got to rename. I should have did it first, but I didn't, so let's just go ahead and rename this joint real quick. Apple R, and it's just a hi-hat. And then to do the same thing, just try to stay organized. Apple R, and this is a snare. And then here, Apple R, this is a kick. So now I got everything separated, right? So I got all on their own tracks. Okay, so now I got that. So you probably saying, okay, well, why'd you do that? Because I want an audio track. So now, I mean, I want it to be an audio. So now I'm gonna click on here, and I'm just gonna just mute all these other joints here, because we're working on building an audio, making an audio track. So all I'm gonna do is click on this track right here, and I'm gonna hit I forgot the command to make an audio track. It would be insert. It would be Apple T. So we just hit Apple T. So we created an audio track right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to name that as well. So I won't have to name it when the audio track comes in. So I'm going to Apple R, and I'm just going to put hi hat again. Right? So now all I'm going to do is this is my hi hat. That's that track. This track is here. I'm going to put the record button here on the track that I'm trying to put the audio track piece. And now I'm going to go to hey, I'm going to I'm gonna come here to the exit insert, and I am using the hi hat. So I'm gonna hit hi hat. I'm gonna turn the mic down. I'm gonna record this. Be right back. So as you see, I just gotta I got my hi hat recorded here in my audio. I can adjust that if I need to, as far as the the volume on that, the RAM, I guess you want to call that. So the hi hat is recorded. So now I'm going to mute these. I'm gonna mute that, and then I'm gonna come here to this track. I'm gonna bring the record down to. We're gonna come here. This is my snare track. So I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna hit Apple T to create another audio track for my snare. And I'm gonna come right down to here because I'm recording to the snare. And I'm gonna go to this exit insert, and that will be my snare. So I'm gonna go to hit the snare, and then I'm gonna record that. I'll be right back. So as you see, I should have named the audio track before I actually recorded, but I didn't. So I'm just going to Apple Art, and I'm gonna name that to be it's a snare. But that's how you record an audio track, man. That's how I record audio track. I could have just dragged it, but I need the MIDI track. I need the MIDI track for just because I need to come back to that. So this is a snare, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and record. I'll show you real quick. I'm going to record it again. This is the kick. We're going to come to this track here, and we're going to hit Apple T. We got an audio track right here, and then I'm going to come to here and hit Apple R, and I'm going to make that a say kick, so I don't have to rename it when I get there to the audio track. And I'm gonna bring everything down to here. Mute this, mute this. Bring your record down to where you want to record. Go to your exit insert thing here and put that on kick, because that's what we routing it. We routing this audio track because we're recording the kick. It's like you're resampling. but you just gotta reroute it to tell you where tell Ableton where you want it to go. Come back out and hit record. It shouldn't pick my voice up. Let's see. No, it shouldn't. So it's recording the kick. So I'll stop it there. And just for purposes, I want to make sure I did not record my voice in there. So I'm going to play it back. Okay, so now remember I told you about consolidating. So I want to consolidate everything I just did. Consolidating is nothing but truncating everything. So I'm going to click on that, hit Apple J, and that's consolidate that kick. Let's consolidate this, Apple J. Consolidated the snare. Consolidating nothing but truncating, man. Or cropping and do the same thing here. And now when you go into your range, we're in arrangement, right? When you go in to start arranging your beat, you got all this stuff you can like hit here and just take this kick here and double up and just do different variations of shit, man. This is one of the reasons I'm coming back to the box. Yeah, you can leave it on. No, you can turn it out. I like it. I like it out better. So I can see my stuff. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to mute. I'm going to not mute. I'm going to minimize the MIDI tracks, all the MIDI tracks, and all you're gonna see now is just my audio tracks. All right. So here are all my audio tracks. So now let's just start bringing them in one by one and getting our levels right. So probably what we need to do, we don't need to do nothing on the kick. Why is that on there like that? Hold up. Okay, here we go. We cool. Now we don't need to do probably just the hi-hat. We need to bring the hi up a little bit. We're going to play them individually. And we're going to start with what? Let's just start with the kick. Mute everything else. Everything else gets muted. But the kick. And I'm going to go ahead, just for purposes, I'm going to go ahead and delete that audio track. And I'm going to delete this audio track. Because I just want to work with only what I got. Okay? So here's the kick. Normally I have the kick on the top, but for now we're just going to leave it right here. And we're just going to listen to the kick. And turn the loop back on. So now what I would do, I would do this, get ready to go into like arranging a song a little bit, right? It's gonna be perfect loops. Just bring the snare in, kick is good. Right? Now, am I warping these? Yeah, everything's warped. So if I change everything, let's bring in the hi-hat. And then we can turn them down. I don't turn up, I turn down. Right? So you see me, I'm just building now. Turn that down a little bit more. And then I'll just start, now I'm going to start arranging, but I'm going to bring in the sample. Right? You know what I mean? All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste these joints. If you don't want to copy and paste the MIDI track, just click on each track that you want, go to the next track, which is the and hit Apple, Command Apple, click on that, come down and hit the snare track, and then I'm gonna hit the kick track. I'm not looping up the I'm not looping. What's the word I'm looking for? Just gonna bring this down to here. I'm not duplicating the MIDI tracks, which are hidden. So we're gonna do this. We need 16 bars. No, we need 20 bars because we need an intro, and then we're gonna start messing with the verse. So we need to do what that's four. That's 16. One, two. We're gonna do it four times. All right. So let's do it four times. So we're gonna hit duplicate. One, two, three, four, and then that give me 4 bar intro and a 16 bar verse. And I always like to go back and just play it just to make sure my loop is good, because sometimes you could be off. So let's just go back and play that shit, man. So we ain't got to worry about messing up. So let's just, and then we're going to set our loop. If this is right from here to here, it's going to be right from there to there, from four to eight. Let's just listen. All right, so we know everything else is gonna be right. And one thing I like about Ableton as they advance, they already put my crossfade here to make the transition smooth. So I'm down. I'm cool with that. So now what we're gonna do is we just going to go ahead and start arranging, right? And how do you do that? And then you're gonna see how quick and easy it is just from that. Serato was added in the game for me because why? Because it was quicker and it was more simple just to do that. I could have chopped it here in Ableton, but I want to try to stay advanced to the technology and give it a chance. I never really gave technology a chance. I stopped believing in technology like 15 years ago. I just like to say, fuck it, man. I just want to stay with hardware. So I had to change up my mindset. Yeah, you know what I mean? And figure it out, man. So this is where I'm at. So now we got the arrangement. So we can put markers here just to show you, just to kind of show you that I could put a marker here. I don't know the shortcut, so I'm gonna go in here and hit I guess create, and it says say add a locator. So we're gonna add a locator. So now it has a locator, so we're just gonna say intro. So now that locator is there, and locators come in handy when you're actually trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Let's just add a locator here. Gonna put a locator right here. And I should have looked at the shortcut and a locator. There's no shortcut. We're just gonna add a locator there, and we're gonna call this the verse one. So now that locator, because when I click on this locator, it's gonna bring me to that verse. So we got 4, 8, 12, 16. All right, so I need a hook. So I gotta take this here, take these Apple command. I gotta copy these. I should have just did it. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna hit Apple D, one, two, and now I got my hook here. So I'm gonna put a locator right here and hit create add locator, and then I'm just gonna say hook because I'm arranging now, right? So we got a hook, and then we got a verse one, and then I probably put breaks and shit in there and all that. But now I'm just gonna mess with the. I'm going to get rid of my snare. Well, I'm gonna leave the last snare in there, and then I'm gonna leave the last kick. So now I'm arranging. So now I'm just moving shit around. So I'm gonna go here and then keep the hi hat. I'm just gonna listen to the beginning of this and see how it sounds. All right, so that's cool. I could just double up my kicks, do, like do some, some. Probably put it here. Let me try it again from the top. Turn the lights off. I need to. Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it just that way I had it the first time. So now, that will be my intro. Now I don't need that one on Malia. Malia, no, I don't need that on baby. So now we're gonna deal with the verse. So we're just gonna slide this over, and we are going to only mess with 4 bars at a time. I only do 4 bars at a time. So the first 4 bars is cool. Why? Because that's my groove. All right. Okay. Boom. So then we go to the next 4 bars, and now we're gonna start here. We'll start right there, and then now we're gonna do it in real time. We're just gonna listen. So I'm gonna be cutting out probably the end part, so I can just have that last end part with no drums. Like for example, right here. Let me just play it. So as you see, I'm just fiddling around. Yeah, Ableton is it's very complicated. Only if you allow it to be. Ableton is very complicated if you allow it to be. It took me 3 months, bro. And I came from Pro Tools, Digital Performer, Cakewalk, all that shit, man. I knew it all. But when I got to Ableton, it was the language. They describe things different, scenes and clips and all that. I just didn't understand that at first. So it took me 3 months of frustration, but I just buckled down on each topic, sequence, making the drum track. I just focused on each one. Instead of trying to make a beat, I focused on each little increment of what I knew about sequencing, what I knew about sampling. I just focused on that, and that's how I was able to get with it. So now I'm cool with Ableton, but I'm in Ableton 12 now, and I started with Ableton Live 8. So I'm just arranging right now. Enjoy. I'm about ready to get up out of here. I'm about ready to go get me some motherfucking fish and some fries for me and wifey. Hey baby, you all right over there? Huh? You can get something. Y'all go ahead. Map out what y'all want. Map out what y'all want, so we can. I'm about ready to order in a minute. So now I got that. So that verse there, that 4 bars is cool. So that's the little break. I probably could just like, just kind of, yeah, just for purposes. I'm just gonna go ahead and just let the snare be by itself in this loop. I do 4 bar loops and I arrange in 4 bar loops and I figure out what I do. So I'm gonna do the snare. I'm just gonna let the snare pop by itself. stretch it out a little bit. Find out where I want the snare to pop. So I think I'm gonna let the snare pop in the beginning by itself, and I'm gonna do it live while we're doing it. So if you don't like it, the best thing to do is just hit Apple, I think it's Apple Z, and just go back to what you had, right? Okay, cool. I think I'm just gonna let the kick pop by itself. Yeah, that's dope right there. Like that right there. Yeah, that's cool. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so you see right there, right? So now I'm just going to size this back down. And I'm going to play it from the top. And then we'll get here. And we're not going to keep looping. We already did, we're on bar 12, up to 12. Just play it. See what it sounds like. All right, so start it back over. Now we cool. What's the original time? What time is it? 1 o'clock. So it's 4:25. What the time? Huh? What? Oh, somebody got that on. Okay. All right. All right. So now we're going to slide this over to here, and we're going to focus on this 4 bars. Right? Well, actually, let me see. Let me see. 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna focus on this. So this one here, I'm just gonna freak. So I'm just gonna listen to this and keep playing it, and then I'm gonna just watch. What can y'all see that? Watch this. I'm just gonna freak it. I'm arranging the beat somewhat, putting the drops in there and all that, right? All right, so let's do that. All right, so I didn't want to like get overwhelmed with it, so all you saw me doing was just um cutting part of the loop that I had. In order to cut something, you just click on where you want to click and hit Apple E. That'll cut it, and then that way you can manipulate it. So let's just go back from the top again and listen. We got one more before we get to the hook. I probably just let that joint play. Um, Matter of fact, I'll probably just let this all play out like this, like just to give it some space, so I can just have that. Maybe just have the drums there like that. I don't know. Let's just listen. Let's just listen from the top. So we're gonna come from the top and we're gonna play it out. All right, so you hear it, right? So listen, this is one thing that you don't want to do when you arrange. I'm just doing some quick arrangement. This really a throwaway beat, but now I'm gonna keep it because I'm arranging it, and it's only worth to keep. It's not bad. It's missing the bass line, and I'm just gonna keep moving with it. Peace, God. Peace to the God. Yeah, there's yeah, knowing it. Do I know it all? Nah. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you how I learned everything. All the shit's the same. It took me like 2 or 3 years when I first started making beats. It took me like 2 or 3 years to figure out all equipment is the same. It's just a different book. It reads a different book. The, every book got chapters, right? But it's different chapters, and the chapters with the all right, peace. All right, she tried to get okay. My daughter kept saying peace, y'all. But every device is the same. It's just getting in and out of the pages. Like you don't know where the sequence, like the sample, like you got to figure this out, and that requires the frustration is you don't know the muscle memory on the machine. But when you know the muscle memory on the MPC 2000 XL, you cool with it. When you get on the ASR 10, you know the muscle memory, you cool with it. But when you get on something else, you like, oh shit. Even the same thing with the dolls. It's the same shit. All you do is just focus on the muscle memory of sequence and the muscle memory of sampling. It's all muscle memory. And once you get it over time, that shit just become first nature. That's how I learned all this shit. By using that process of thinking. All this shit's the same. How do I get in and out of these pages? What is the language? Did they change the language up? Because you know, on the MV8000, they call it patterns, but we were so used to sequencing, right? On Ableton, it's called clips, right? Then you got the arrangement view. We always had an arrangement view, right? Well, not we didn't always have arrangement, but that's how I learned this shit over time, man. And I just kept remembering the formula. Every time I get a new piece of gear, the first thing I would do is I would learn how to sample. That's it. I want to sample first. Then I learned what are the parameters within the sampler. Okay, once I learn how to sample, okay, how do I chop? Is there auto chop? Let me just focus on that. And bam, and then I just started doing it because you always do it with every piece of gear. If you know one piece of gear, you know all them shits. You just don't want to take people don't want to take the time to learn the chapters. They don't want to read the book. It's muscle memory with your fingers, man, and how you move. That's your workflow. If you take away the workflow of somebody's fingers, there's no workflow. It's your fingers and your mind and what you see. That's it. So now I'm getting used to Ableton again. But I'm on Ableton 12. I'm just scratching the surface of 12 because there's a lot of other features in here that I need to be using that I'm not going to use right now because I got to remember how to fucking do the shit that I learned when I first got Ableton. That was like 6, 7 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you do it, bro. That's how I did it. But let me get back in the arrangement of this beat, and then I'm gonna get to the hook, and I gotta get up out of here. All right, so right here at bar 20, this gonna become my hook. So how do I want the hook to play out? Normally it's everything, right? But for this purpose, we just gonna make the hook be we just gonna come to the end here, and everything from here up is just gonna play that, and then when it changes over, cause I hear a crash right before the hook, so we're just gonna take slide all this over. I don't know how it's gonna sound, but we're gonna play it from there, and then we're gonna play it before it hits the hook. See, it says the hook right there. We're gonna play it about right here, and we're gonna listen as it transitions to the hook. Okay, that's cool. So you come in the hook, let them spit some shit, bring the drums back in, and then that be the hook. Just different, right? And then it start back over to the verse. I ain't loop it yet. And then that's what you got. So now you put it all together. This is a rough, like, if I send this to an artist, you're like, yo, man, leave that shit like it is. They don't want it. They don't want you to fix it. They like it like that. Yeah, what's up, DM Beach? Yeah, peace, God. Never thought like that. Yeah, I'm not saying that you never thought like that, but you was thinking like that because you already know there's sequencing, there's sampling, there's effects. There's always chapters, and just pick up any music manual, any device manual, and all of them got the same shit. Effects. They got envelopes. They got oscillators. Some of them got more than others. They got um how to copy a track, how to delete a track. All that shit is important, man, because it's all the same. That's There's no other way around it. That's what it is. But here's what I created with Serato and Ableton. Inside of Ableton, along with this frequency, the sample came from YouTube. I'm going to show you how I take my samples from YouTube and put them into here, and then to get them in Serato, because you cannot record directly into Serato Sample, but in Serato Studio you can. So like I said the other day, Serato Studio is a DAW, just like Ableton. Serato Sample is a plugin, a VST that you use to chop up samples. That's all it's for. And you're able to use it within Ableton as any other plugin. That's the difference. But the thing is, I don't like to make you pay for each one separate. So if you want Serato Studio as a DAW, if you already have a DAW, you should just be getting Serato Sample. Period. If you want to mess with Serato Studio just on the fly when you on the train or you just going on vacation, that's good to have. Serato Studio is dope. There's a lot more features in Serato Studio than Serato Sample. For an example, Serato Studio gonna run you about 225 bucks, and Serato Sample is gonna run you about 150 bucks. So that's the difference. But I don't mind supporting the company as long as they give me what I want. I don't buy shit now unless I do the knowledge on it. So that's it. So that's what we got, man. So we're gonna play it from the top one more time, and I'm gone, man. And that's it, man. Yeah, shout out to my man Kenny Lupins, man. Kenny Lupins, man. I watched the brother. He's in Ableton. He's showing you his process. Y'all definitely go check out Kenny Lupins, man. He shows you. He is the loop master. The way he hears shit is remarkable. Like his ear for a loop is crazy. And he plays the album all the way through and he be skimming through it and then he go back and then I don't know how he remember what he heard, but he does it. He's a good brother and known him for quite some time. He been following me, I follow him and that's it, man. So yeah, shout out to him and make sure y'all check out Kenny Lupin's page. Make sure you like and subscribe. He got you just gotta pay attention. He doesn't do the talking shit like I do, but he does a lot of show and tell, and he's gonna tell y'all some shit, bro. I promise you that. Sounds you said Serato Studio is worth it. If you what I'm gearing towards is if you just trying to learn something quick, a quick fix, Serato Studio is dope. The timing, the timing that the sequencer has is dope. Um, Hell yeah, it's worth it. It's worth 225, 250 bucks, bro. It's worth it. To me, it's worth it. Um, is Serato sample worth it? Nah, I don't think it's worth 150 bucks. 150 bucks. I think that shit worth like 50 bucks, but it make you use it instead of using the chopping up shit in Ableton. Cause you saw me use it in the beginning. So I'm gonna be doing video a video on how I show you how I get my sample library from YouTube or from vinyl or whatever, and how I get it into Serato sample, and it could be used for Serato Studio as well. I want to thank y'all for watching, man. I'm gonna play the beat out, let it rock a couple loops, and I'm out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace, one love. Yeah, I just want to say one more thing, man. Can y'all please rate the sound? Like, like with I got the new SSL 2 Plus um, Mark II. Can y'all please rate the sound? I didn't really do a sound check. I just kind of watched my levels. Even with the mic, I know y'all hear the kids and the TV in the background, but I'm in the kitchen right now. Get out of there, Malia. What are you doing? What does she want? Yeah, yeah. See what your sister. Yeah, yeah. See what your sister want. I don't know what she wants. I guess she wants some snacks because y'all watching a movie or TV. All right. Well, I don't know what she wants. See what she wants. But yeah, rate the sound, man. Let me know, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. But yeah, let me go ahead and play this joint out. If you didn't catch the video at the beginning, check it out. Went a little overboard, but I'm here, baby. Much love to y'all, man.